It's me! It's me!
Keep it going. Oh! Down the backstretch. The big one at Daytona.
Car goes right into the catch fence.
On to episode number 1 of the Divisional Download. I am joined by 2 guests today. Kong is my closest on the left here.
Hello.
And then Zorgo as well.
What's up, everybody?
So, for the first episode, we're just going to kind of cover kind of bland topics to start out, like just about the season, because this is a new podcast. First, I do kind of want to just take a look around the room for the podcast. Over here, we got some sheet metal from some divisional cars. We got a bunch of smaller scale divisional cars, trucks. There's the logo in the background, and then a bunch of pictures on the wall here. But without being said, I think we should get pretty much right into it. Our first topic is just the current divisional season, like how it's going, and from my point of view, I can talk as well because I run it. But from your point of view, it's going to be a little bit different because you guys get to drive it. So I say we start off with setups. This year, in my opinion, has been the best setups that we've ever ran. I'm going to go to you guys. Let's start with Zorgo because he races every weekend. Zorgo, what's your opinion on the new setups? Like, how's it going?
The setups, they honestly could not be any better. They've been practically great every race. Especially with the brake and turn, helps a lot.
Yeah, I think that's like the second kind of subtopic too. Like the new scripts, momentum and brake and turn just really add a lot.
Yeah.
Momentum last night, especially at Darlington, it allowed multi-groove in that final corner. It's weird because you really don't have a max speed with momentum, so it's different every single time you hit the corner.
It also helps sometimes with strategy. Not helps change it up a little bit because if you don't full throttle the straightaways, then you're not gonna have all the momentum.
Yeah, so you are slower now when you're saving fuel by quite a bit, and it's noticeable.
Yeah, as we saw last night with me.
Yeah,
and me.
And fuel strategy this season, we should probably touch on that too. It has been more prominent than ever. Daytona and Talladega have fuel strategy, but obviously it comes down to that final late caution, and we'll have a re-rack. But Vegas, usually that's just comes down to racing and a little bit spread out, but that came down to fuel strategy before the yellow came out. And while it would have been a good finish most likely, but the yellow came out, and then we had a giant pack run to the end. And really only 2 races have resulted in straight up fuel strat, and that was Milwaukee and kind of Darlington. And I think it's perfect. I personally love the fuel strategy going on. Milwaukee, in my opinion, was probably one of the best races of the season. And I think Auto Club had our best racing, but I think Milwaukee was probably our best executed race of the year. Darlington last night was also really, really fun to watch. I probably should say, should I upload this after doing the extended highlights? Because I haven't done extended highlights for Dega or Darlington.
Probably.
Yeah, so I should probably. Yeah. Now we're going to kind of touch on, I think we should go, Team Wars right now. There's a lot of silly season stuff going on mid-season. Colin, I'm going to let you start on this because Hozek's Bonsai is coming back, and I think you should probably touch on why and, stuff, what you're planning to do with it.
Yeah, so Hozek's Bonsai is coming back with the 01 and the 88 next season. We're going to be just kind of helping out Bonsai with just trying to get them past all the other teams that are a little bit quicker right now, and we're still looking for decent drivers to fill in that 88 slot because I'll be in the 00 next season for Hozek's Bonsai. But yeah, we're just going to try and help out Bonsai as much as we can next season, like we have been.
Yeah, we have a lot of new teams coming in, a lot of new stuff happening. Zorgo, I'll let you go now. Talk about DWO because you guys have had some interesting changes like entirely this season.
Yeah, I mean, we had a merger for like been pretty much planned from last season. It hasn't gone the best. It could be going better right now, but it's definitely one of our worst seasons. I would say so.
Yeah, you are really the only one that's shown for the team so far.
Yeah. And I've been pretty hit or miss. Either I win or basically last.
Let's talk about your trade with Super.
I feel like it was gonna happen eventually, personally, because he wasn't doing. He really shows, and trading him for Mailbox is probably our best option.
I mean, it worked out. Like, the first race Mailbox showed up. He got you a win at Talladega.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I think it was probably a worse trade on my part to get rid of Mailbox, but in the long run, considering who I have on my team already, I think the trade was not as bad as it seems on the surface. I think with Super at Super Speedways, my team's gonna have a much better understanding of where to go. And now with Hosek Sponsor coming in, I think we could compete with DWO largely. Only thing is here, honestly, I mean, this is kind of stir up some stuff here. Zorga, in the next season, and maybe even this year, I think DW and Team Bonsai might need to start working together because with the addition of Great Lakes Racing this year and Mopar, the new team, which we're about to talk about, we need to start holding it down.
I'm not even gonna lie. Before this started, I was thinking about what if we allied with Bonsai. Not even lying.
As much as our team do not get along, they have a super organization right now. GLR itself has been a champ threat since the start of the year. While they only have one win and they got rid of their one winner, they quite literally have been up front every race. Carson and Hallows were an unstoppable duo. And then Mopar now has Hallows and some new drivers, and it showed last night. Without Camuso getting those penalties that he did, he probably would have
been up there.
Yeah, he was fast. He was pulling away. And I know people were saving, but that doesn't matter. He was pulling away. Hallows at the end there, I mean, that came down to him and Coop, and they had perfect strategy together. I mean, Hallows, honestly, I think he's going to be Rookie of the Year, and I think he's going to have a giant threat to a championship in maybe the next few seasons once he starts getting used to these cars. Muffin is hit or miss. While he had a good finish, he has been hit or miss on the way he races during the races. He's been getting a lot of penalties and stuff, but still overall good driver and a champion in the series. So we have to can't overlook that. He is a champion. They have a lot of new drivers, and I don't know them all. I mean, for the longest time, this league was just pretty much friends only. I know everyone. But now we have a problem because we don't know these guys, and they're starting to show that they're fast. So
yeah, we don't know how they race.
I agree. I think
it's scary for us. We don't.
But it makes it better, in my opinion.
It does.
Yeah.
It adds more competition, and I want to touch on new superstars in general. So veterans right now, everyone would consider you, Dino, Coop, Kong too, everyone knows that they're good. But I want to touch on some new drivers this season. Not necessarily the new ones that we
Rookie
just covered.
sensation.
But Carson, I would consider him not a veteran. I know he's been here for a while, but he's a champion now, and it's starting to show. From his start of his career compared to now, it's crazy how much he's changed.
He's done a lot better.
Yeah, it's crazy. Super as well. I would like to touch on Super because late years, past 2 seasons, he's been just so much better. It's not even funny how much he's changed. From his Indianapolis win and his All-Star win last year, the difference between the plate track only winner to now it's undeniably he's gotten a lot better, which is why I traded for him because I know he can do a lot better. But I want to talk about mostly Kitty. Now, this could be glazed, but Kitty this season has put on a show and nobody expected it. He ran 2 races last year, got a win and a second-place finish, which was, maybe he just had 2 really good days. But, oh my goodness, I don't think anyone expected Kitty to do as good as he did this year. 2 wins on the year, and every single race is a threat for his third. Last night, with that late race caution, he almost got his third. At Auto Club, he finished second. At Talladega, he was like top 5. Like, no matter the track, that number 8 is up there. And you can't even say it's luck because he's won at some of the hardest tracks to win at. Like, Vegas, that's a skilled track. He won at Road America the next weekend, and he started running down Coop when he passed him. He won there, and ever since he's been a threat to the... Like, Milwaukee. Milwaukee was his win, no matter what anyone says. Milwaukee was probably his best run of his life, and unfortunately got ruined. I almost got revenge yesterday on his teammate, but luckily he did the right thing. I think nobody expected Kitty to do as good, and I think, personally, I don't want to jinx him because he's my team driver, but I think he's going to win the championship this year. I think we're going to see a new champion this year.
I definitely think he's going to. It's going to be probably Kitty, and if he doesn't win it, then
it's probably Coop.
It's going to be probably someone from Great Lakes, honestly.
I don't know. Hallows, I don't know if you looked at the point standings. Honestly, let me see if I can get them on screen. I'm gonna see. Yeah, I'm gonna change an image on OBS and then to like the point standings and then open it up. All right. Here's the current point standings. So right now, so it's an all season points championship. So there's no reset, and that just makes it much harder to win. But Kitty out front right now, 712 points. Coop follows with a win last night with 652. Then Zorgo and Jaw are right behind you. Zorgo, Jaw, and Dino are right behind you with 505, 500, and 495. So you three are just all three in like the same boat right now. It'll be hard to catch up, but with consistency you will. Carson at 441 is kind of a little bit scary. I don't know what he'll be able to pick up. But what's even scarier is this guy. He started off, 3 races in? Like, he missed the first 3 races, and Hallows has 415 points right now.
Yeah,
had he been in those first 3 races,
he'd
probably be in the 500 to 600 range right now. He'd be running 3rd or 4th. Hallows is a threat. And then
next season he might pop off.
Yeah, I'm worried. I am really worried. And as much as I want to snipe him, I know I can tell his friendship already on Mopar.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep him there. And then, like, it's a steep drop-off to Muffin with 195, Super with 186. This guy needs to show up, dude. And Mailbox is with 125 because he showed up and won. But really, it is scary how fast that Hallows was able to find his way back up there. And honestly, tonight, or yesterday, I thought Kamuse was probably going to get his first win in his first start.
It was looking like it.
Sounds like something I did.
Had that mess up.
Shut up, Zorgo. How about that? Let's go to the next topic. We're kind of already on this, but we're going to touch on pretty much every driver that we can think of in the league right now that's driving. So first I want to touch on the 4 different winners. 2 of them have been back, like, repeat winners, but we have 4 different winners this season, and they're kind of weird, the winners that we have. I mean, Coop and Zorgo, that's normal. But then Hallows and Kitty. And Kitty is one with 2. So let's look at the tracks that they won at. So Zorgo, you earlier this season, congratulations, got your 3rd Daytona 500 win. You joined the party with me? Is that it? I don't actually know.
Probably.
I think it's just you and me. Honestly, no, I think I only have 2, but screw you. Next week at Vegas, I mean, that looked like it was going to be Coops. You had a good fuel strap, but then it started to slow down.
I was done saving by the time Coop caught up to me, so I feel like I could have pushed and maybe like done what I did to Kitty at Milwaukee.
I mean, but still though, I mean, Coop, that's probably Coop's best track.
He was hunting me down until he hit the freaking wall glitch.
I know. I should have got rid of it earlier because I wanted to see what would happen. But with that wreck, Kitty got the win.
It sent me down to like 7th or something like that.
Now I don't really know like my first initial thoughts about it, but I don't remember thinking, wow, this Kitty guy's going to be a threat because he won that race. I mean, I knew that he was good, but I thought it was just luck because of that wreck. But then the following weekend at Road America, my opinion changed. It did a full 180. Coop, I mean, obviously Coop was going to be quick going into Road America. There's not a track that Coop can't be considered a winning threat. It's just safe to assume that he's going to be good wherever he goes. But I don't think anyone expected late race how good Kitty was starting to be. He caught up. But what I want to also touch on is Carson that race. Carson nearly got that win, and I think that's something that we need to be worried about on road courses later this season, because we're going to 2 more after this. We're going to Bristol next, and then we're going to Wisconsin. 2 short tracks in a row. But then after that, we hit the Charlotte Roval. We've never raced the Charlotte Roval. And
that's going to be sketch, bro.
We're not doing the front stretch chicane, so I hope...
Okay, that's good. That's what was going to be sketchy about that.
But what I'm worried about is I know Coop's going to be good. I have faith that Coop's going to be good wherever he goes. That's a driver. The good thing about having Coop in your back pocket is nobody else wants him. 2, he can't race without a team, so I'm chilling if he wants to leave. And he's good everywhere he goes. And he's probably one of my best friends on Discord. He's good wherever he goes, and that's the main thing. I am so confident when I can, every single track we go to, besides Talladega and Daytona, I can put him on the ones to watch, and nobody can say it's glazed because he is on the ones to watch. Every team, and I know you guys know, DW, I know you guys talk about before the race, we need to watch Coop. There's no way he's not in your thoughts because he is good wherever he goes, and I think
we don't verbally talk about it, but I'm pretty sure everyone, not just us, everyone knows Coop's always quick.
I don't think people. We're gonna touch on more people, but the credit that he deserves, he needs to get that credit. As much as nobody likes him, really nobody likes him.
I'm starting to. I'm not gonna lie.
Besides his team, me, Kitty, Kong, we like him, and I think most people can agree they would probably get in a call with him outside of racing, but on the track, virtually nobody likes this guy. And you can't say anything because he's good everywhere he goes. He's just like Kyle Busch. As much as I hate to admit it, he's just like Kyle Busch. He got his dream. He's just like Kyle Busch. I think nobody else is like that in the league. If we look back at when I raced, okay, this is one thing I'm so proud of. This is self-glazed, but I hope you guys know this. Zorgo, just keep this in the back of your mind. I am so confident. Whenever I want, I can go in and I know I'm a champ threat. Just like that, I'm a champ threat. If I wanted to race tomorrow, I'd be a threat to the win, no matter what. But the only reason, I came back at season 12 and season 13. I won those back-to-back champs. Do you know the only reason I did that? It wasn't because I was bored. It wasn't because we didn't have enough drivers. Coop had said the day before the season was starting, Coop told me, he said he was the best IBCS driver of all time. And I said, Coop, unfortunately, you're never going to be like that. And he says, you couldn't hang with the competition today. And just because of that, I raced those 2 seasons to prove him wrong. And what did I do? I won both champs against him.
You should have just said put the fries in the bag.
Right now, competition is at its all-time high.
It is.
It is.
And honestly, I thought I was going to win 3 champs back-to-back, if not for Muffin. And I won't say that I couldn't have. I won't say that competition is the only reason I didn't. But I did notice I didn't win as much that year. Not even close. Season 12 and mostly season 13, I popped off in that number 6 car. I won in every single car. Every single scheme I made, I did it until I won in, with the exception of the All-Star and the Bonsai Cars car. But I had the vision that I was going to win in every car I had. And while I did pop off that year, I think I had 6 wins combined with D1 and D2. You could tell the competition got better the next year. I think in the season that I ran with Muffin, I think I had 3 wins on the year, which is a lot. I mean, everyone should be happy with 3 wins, but based on the 6-win season beforehand, and they were spread out wins. They weren't like same track, like back to back to back. They were spread out, and it really worried me. That's honestly one of the reasons I stopped. Is one, I like hosting, and this season, I don't think it's even close. I think this is the best divisional season of all time.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think it's going amazing, and I'm really happy. But I don't think I could hang with the guys right now. I think I could hang with them. I think I would be a win threat, but I don't think I'd win week in and week out like I just was. It wasn't something like it was going to be a me and Coop battle for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I don't think I could win another race with these guys every week.
Something about you, Kong. Well, let's go to Kong now. Something about you, Kong, is me and Coop were actually talking about this in DMs yesterday, just like randomly. You are such a, I don't want to say weird, interesting. Like, your skill level is so interesting to me because you're someone who used to win a lot, but now, like, obviously you don't win a lot. And when I can confidently say I could beat you at any track that I wanted to, and I can confidently say Zorgo could beat you at any track he wanted to. But the weirdest thing about you is randomly, just like you'll have a spark, and nobody will know why. Like two seasons ago, nobody would have considered you a champ or a win threat at any track besides like a super speedway, and then randomly you won Darlington. You just showed up and won, and you were fast. It wasn't like a last minute thing. You won, and it's really weird. And if you look at all the tracks that you've ever won at, it's the same trend. It's like, yeah, you have, I think, 2 Talladega wins in your career, but besides those, you've won at Homestead, you've won at Darlington twice now, you've won at South Boston. There are tracks that you need skill to win at. You've won at Chicagoland a lot. The tracks you need skill to win at, and you just do it. Like, it's random. You just show up and win.
I don't race as much anymore as I used to. Just because it's kind of repetitive in most leagues now. So when I do show up, I suck, and then a little bit down the line, I'll gain more speed, and then I'll quit, and then I'll come back and suck. It's just a big cycle.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like you might be considered the greatest driver, like, across all divisions
without a championship. With that, I mean, as much as I want to say my first season in trucks, I should have had that championship. In the end, Real Boy deserved that one.
Yeah, Real Boy and Jeff Fox were unstoppable in like the last final 5 races. Like, they just started showing up and showing out.
Yeah,
that was one of the most competitive old years of IBCS. Like,
that was. As
much as it's obviously nothing will compare to the amount of competitive we have now, but for being so old. Our Final 4 that year, Zorgo, I don't know if you know all these names, but 3 of them are, like, all 4 of them are household divisional names. Like, they're all 4 considered some of the best. The Final 4 in trucks that year at Dover was Kong, LBT, Real Boy, and Jeff Rocks.
And me and LBT that season, we were going back and forth with
yeah, it was like a 2-car battle between both of them. Like, it was a pair battle. Real Boy and Jeff Rocks being, everyone knows he's great. He's one of the greatest of all time, and then Real Boy showing up and being the rookie just to prove him wrong in that battle the whole year. And then Kong and LBT were, not really veterans, but drivers who have been there for a little bit, but are still considered good, and just having that fight all year long. And
I
don't know. Like, that season, I do look back as one of my favorites. It was such a good year for all of us. Old trucks, as much as they sucked, dude, were so good. They were the same
old truck
division.
And then Xfinity.
Dude, old Xfinity?
Xfinity were goated right there.
I know, dude. Old D2 was probably the greatest, like, the greatest of all time. You know what I should do on the divisional channel for more media? I should, like, upload, like, some of those old highlight videos, because I still have them. I should, like, record them and then upload them to,
Do you still have the one from my Homestead win?
I do, the trucks. Yes, I have I have the trucks one.
Upload that one.
Alright, let's go to our next driver. Zorgo, we'll go to you since we just went to Kong. 2 wins on the year, 1 at Daytona, 1 at Milwaukee, and probably a couple more that you shoulda, coulda, woulda. I'm gonna get your opinions first. What do you take on this year compared to others?
I feel like I should be up there with Kitty and Coop, but basically every single week, there's always that late caution that sends me to the back.
Yeah, there's been multiple examples of that. Las Vegas, but then obviously there's been examples now that it's happened in your favor, like Milwaukee.
Yeah, this has never happened before ever. Late cautions have never been my favorite until now.
Yeah, I think that was like it's starting to get weird now because you always get screwed over by late cautions and you just won. And you know how the leader at the late caution never wins the race. He never wins that race. It just happened last night. Coop won. And Hallows P2.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they kept their spots. It's so weird to me. Like, it's like completely reversed right now.
Yeah.
But right now, Zergo, I think as much as you aren't winning like you normally do, I'll pull up points again. You're still third in points, and your team is still right behind you. As much as this doesn't look like a good year for you guys, I completely agree and think that this might be your most consistent in a while. Because, I mean, the past 2 seasons really haven't been all too consistent for you. I'll pull up team points right now. Team points is going to be interesting, too. We should probably talk about that later. Dino's Way only has 1281, and we have 1244 at Team Bonza. Let's go to our next driver. Let's talk about Dino's drought right now. Zorga, I'm going to let you start because you know Dino more than I do. At least right now.
I say for... Because I feel like me and Dino, we're still trying to figure out what's the best strategy for each track, so we haven't been the best on strategy compared to how we were at the end of last season, where we were popping off 1-2 every race, basically.
Yeah, last season was definitely... It was obvious that you guys were the first to start realizing strategy can win you races, but nowadays, with the amount of fuel that you get, everyone has to do strategy, and people that would have been good at strategy before just didn't do it are showing up now. Like Coop and Kitty are good strategists. They just didn't do it before. And honestly, I think they're probably your biggest threat in terms of strategy-wise.
Yeah. I think maybe once me and Dino fully adjust like the 900 fuel instead of like the 1000 we had before, I think we could probably start getting more race wins.
I agree. Although Dino lately, like, we're talking about his drought right now, it really has been a drought. Apart from Daytona, where he pushed you to the win, he has not... I'm going to check right now. Finishing positions real quick.
I mean, it's best of in like Daytona and Darlington.
Alright, let's start at Daytona. Finish second. He pushed you to the win. Finished fourth at Vegas, but that was probably only because of the late yellow. Road America...
Oh, he was third before that.
Really?
Yeah.
Finished fifth at Road America, and then didn't show up to Fontana. Fifth at Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, he was not doing good at all.
And then an 8th place finish at Talladega is really bad for him.
He would have been actually no, he had to drive through, never mind.
And then the Darlington, he finished third last night, which was a good finish for him. He's in a drought. But he's so far up in points that he can pull himself out of it. It's not like his season's done for, but coming off a year that he just had, he needs to get a win because it's starting to look like a fluke last season. He's now a 2-time champion, and it's starting to look like a fluke. He needs to prove that he has winning speed.
Be 3-time.
Yeah, let's talk about Hallows hype up. Like, the hype up around Hallows right now. Starting from his first ever start, Fontana, he got the win. And while it was a pack race track, he was up front all day.
Fast.
Yeah. And I think most people shrugged it off. Like, I like Hallows. I think I don't really like some of the guys that had just came in. It'll take some time to me probably adjust to them. I don't really like them, but I like Hallows. So far, Hallows really hasn't done anything that proved that he's like a dirty driver. He's just fast, and I think I shrugged it off at Fontana just because
I did too.
it's a pack racing track. I mean, Coop got 4th place at a pack racing track right now. But then at Milwaukee he got 4th. Like, okay, so the guy had speed, the guy had strategy. And then he got 6th at Talladega, looking like just normal again. Then last night, we have never seen Hallows like that. Like, besides Auto Club, finished 2nd, and he was running up front all race long. It was just a perfect execution from the number 77. Coming after, what's weird to me, why would, I still don't understand this. Why did Carson trade him? Like, what is the thought behind that?
Who knows? It's Carson, so...
Because Carson, his only winner on the season, he traded for... Well, who did he trade him for? I gotta look. Traded for Fun Guy, who finished 9th last night, and wasn't...
Fun Guy is not good.
Yeah, Carson said that Fun Guy was good, and he said he's better at other tracks, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but... You had a driver who's good at all tracks, clearly. If he's finishing 2nd at Darlington and 1st at Auto Club, this guy's good at every track. How is it?
It's like you trading kitties, basically.
Yeah, like it'd be me trading Kitty for Little Jaw. So it wasn't a good choice. Honestly, I shouldn't throw shit on Little Jaw because he's not.
Yeah, Little's been having like his best season.
It's like me trading Kitty for Muffin.
Oh yeah, that would be bad.
Yeah, like Muffin's best finishes have been at super speedways, and the guy doesn't show up. Let's look at signings real quick. I'm gonna look at the signings channel real quick to look around before we get to our next driver. I want to look at these trades. So there's the trade, Team Monte mailbox for super. All right, Dodge. So Mopar offers Camuso. That's a big one. Dodge trades Fun Guy to GLR, but Carson accepts it for Hallows. It's just, there's no real thought behind it.
Yeah.
Like, Carson says, we're still partnered, but with that logic, you would have just stayed the same.
Yeah.
And then, we haven't seen him race, but Corey Abbey just got signed to Mopar as the final team slot. That team's already full, by the way. We haven't seen Corey Abbey race. I've seen him race a couple times. He's in my QSSRX, which is going to restart, guys. Woohoo. QSSRX is going to restart.
Time to win.
Yeah, I'm winning points. I think Corey Abbey could... I don't know. I'm not going to say anything on him yet because I haven't seen him. Let's go to Mailbox. Mailbox, just like Coop, is a threat really wherever he goes. And honestly, the only tracks that you could have signed him off at were super speedways, and yet he just won. So Zorgo, this has worked out in your favor so far. Like I said, he didn't show up a lot. I mean, he's a busy guy. But I think Mailbox might have the most raw talent out of anyone in the league. Like, think of Mailbox showing up week in and week out. I think by now he'd be a multi-time champion.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy to know, and he knows it too. If he wanted to, he could be a champion in the series. It's kind of frightening having that power. Like, he knows that if he just started showing up week in and week out, he'd probably win the championship. That's frightening. And now you can kind of like sit back and relax because he's in your team. Like, before, I had him as my trump card if I needed it, but like, the only reason I traded him is because I didn't need it. I have 2 trump cards already, and they win week like all the time. And I think Mailbox will really, really boost your team like when you need it. Like, when you guys are in a drought, in terms of constructors, like if TP passes you, I think you guys are fine as long as you pull him out like once. Oh, my voice is going in and out, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys heard me. I don't know if OBS picked that up. If not,
yeah, did something funny.
Yeah, I thought it was someone else, but yeah, no, it was like mine. They said my voice connected was like going in and out. All right, that's like the last of drivers I have on my list, but we can still talk about more. Let's talk about Little Jaw.
Yeah, I was about to say that too.
Little Jaw. Let's look at his finishing. All right, let's start at Daytona.
Consistent.
Honestly, we're gonna go back to last season real quick. So he started racing mid-season at Talladega. He just came back to the league. Beforehand, he was considered one of the weirdest. He wasn't a bust, but he was considered one of the weirdest talents we've seen. He's made it to the Final Four multiple times, and yet you can't, like, he's made it to the Final Four multiple times, and you can't consider him a threat, really, to the championship, because he's just, like, in my eyes, he never has been. But what the weirdest thing is, he's been there. Anyway, he started the season at Talladega, and that's one of his best tracks, but he finished 6 out of 6. Next week, he finished 6 out of 6 again at Charlotte. And then he finished 6 out of 6 again at Chicagoland.
Oh my god.
Skip a few, he finished 7 out of 7 to finish the final season. This guy is
Should've won
not
that.
good. Like, you can rule off anything you said about him before, like, about us making the Final Four. This guy is washed. We start the season this year at Daytona, 6 out of 7. 7 out of 7
He should have been.
Vegas.
Ignoring the finish at Daytona, he would have been up there if him and Super didn't get massive bumper lock coming to the way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he flipped at the line. But then fast forward to Vegas, 7 out of 7. I mean, it looked like he's right back on this train. But then, we've never seen anything like it. At a track nobody's raced at, Road America, this guy was fast. Like, all race, the 11 was quick, and he finished 4th. And then next week, he finished 5th at Fontana. And then he finished 3rd at Milwaukee. And it was like a countdown. Finished 4th at Talladega. Until last night, he hopped back on that train. An 8th out of 11th place finish at Darlington. Was this
Something-
a fluke, or was...
Something about Little is he's not like the best with conserving fuel. Usually, he's like basically full push the whole time. Like, especially with Vegas, he was basically like a stop more than basically everyone. If it weren't for that caution, he probably would have been back there anyway, in my opinion.
I'm
Road
curious
America,
to know,
I wasn't there, so
I'm
I
curious to
can't say
know,
much about that.
Zorga, if you don't mind
Milwaukee-
asking, I'll tell you mine, but before each race, first of all, does Dotto Motorsports have a Discord channel?
Yeah, we have a group chat.
A group chat, alright. Before each race, do you guys talk about your strategy? Like, when there's open practice, do you guys do the fuel strat, like, beforehand?
Yeah, like coming to Darlington, we kind of talked about how much fuel you use when you're saving, how much fuel you use when you don't, that kind of stuff.
I mean, I don't... Not to give you any ideas, but, like I said, I would share mine. Last night, so we haven't done this before. This is the first time we did it, and it seemed to have worked out because we won. Heading into Darlington with open practice last night, I had Coop, because Coop's good at fuel
Do
strategy.
you have all different strategies?
No, I'll get to that. Coop, I know he's the best strategist on the team. I mean, Kitty kind of follows his own thing, but Coop figured out the fuel strategy for me, or the fuel run for me. He figured out how many laps you can do. So, I'll read the announcement. Darlington pit strategy. If pushing, you waste about 18 to 19 fuel per lap, meaning the fuel run is about 50 laps. And I said
I got that too.
we're doing around 100 laps. Stages are 20, 20, 60. We kind of have an advantage because I know how many laps we're doing. But honestly, sometimes it is just spontaneous. I'll just make up a number as soon as we hit the stage channel. But I made 2 different plans and you can choose either one. I have the win pit plan, the one that Coop followed, and I think Kitty followed his own. But the one that Coop followed, I'm not gonna tell you the plan, but we had 2 different plans. I had one plan specifically for saving and trying to get the win, and I had another plan specifically for saving or for pushing and then saving later to try and get stage points. And
I was on the second one. I pushed early and kind of screwed me over.
And it really seemed to work considering we won and had that. Kitty had a good finishing place. I think that we're gonna start doing that from now on for open practice races, and really the next few are gonna be open practice besides Bristol. Let me look down the schedule real quick. I'm gonna do open practice for Wisconsin because we haven't raced there in a while, and we have break and turn now. Obviously, I'm doing open practice for Charlotte Roval. I'm probably gonna try and do that as soon as possible.
Day before.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna do a couple days before because I want people to be good there. I'm gonna have open practice the next week at Richmond. I don't think I'll have open practice at Michigan. I might. I'll have open practice at Watkins Glen, and then I probably won't have open practice at Phoenix. But we have a lot of new stuff happening in the second half of the season. Like Wisconsin's coming back, but with a completely new setup. Charlotte Roval's coming in, which is going to be interesting. Richmond's coming in. Watkins Glen is coming in. It's going to be new, and I think it's going to be fun. Road courses this season, we've only done one, but I'm excited because
it was great.
Yeah, next season, just expect lots of road courses. I'm going to go ham. We're going to have CTFP back, and we're probably going to have Sonoma and
Portland.
I've been thinking of others. Portland would be interesting. I'm thinking of others. I'm trying to do street courses, but these cars just they don't race good there.
No, they would not race good there.
The only one that was kind of it was Chicago, and it's just still not good enough for me to in good measure. Even Charlotte Roval was a little bit sketchy, but I've been running a race at Charlotte Roval forever, so nobody was gonna stop me. I might try Daytona Road Course. It's just I don't know about you guys. I'm just not a fan of the Daytona Road Course. For IMSA, sure, but in NASCAR,
it's iffy.
Yeah, I do think though in real life, this is off topic, but the next gen would probably make that track beautiful.
100%.
I mean, is there any other drivers you guys really want to talk about? I'm trying to think.
No, I can't think of any.
No, we basically got everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, Super.
Did we talk about Carson or not?
Not really. We never really fully touched on him, I don't think. Let's look at Carson's finishing order, finishing positions. Starting from Daytona, he wasn't there. Then he showed up at Vegas, third place finish. And then at Road America, third place finish and he was leading final corner. That was a really good finish, by the way. I don't know if you saw Zorgo.
Nah.
You can check the divisional channel; it's up there. Carson had the lead. But coming to the final corner, he got in the grass, and it popped him up on his side. He was going to win.
Oh.
It popped him up on his side, so when he landed, he had a bad entry. Then Kitty threw his nose in there and got under him. And then Carson probably could have had a runoff, and it was going to be side-by-side. But then Coop tried to make it a 3-wide finish. But he kind of slid up and hit Carson. So Kitty got the boost off, and Carson got sideways. And it was a really cool finish. But, yeah, Carson got third 2 weeks in a row, so that's consistent there. Oh my god, 3 weeks in a row. He got third at Fontana. And then he finished sixth at Milwaukee, so first, kind of bad day, and then another bad day at Talladega, but Talladega's Talladega. He got seventh at
he could have been third at Talladega if he didn't cut across the whole track, like Michael McDowell style.
While we're on Talladega, we gotta talk about...
Can we talk about the dominance that we had?
Yes, our teams during Talladega was amazing. The stages were crazy. Although, I don't remember this happening, but Carson won stage 1, apparently. But behind him, Dino, Mailbox, Dorgo, Coop. Your team was... our team was perfect on strategy. Stage 2...
Well, me and Mailbox probably would have been 1-2 if it wasn't for that freaking caution.
Stage 2, I don't even know what to say, but... I think, my team had the perfect execution. We were both our teams were saving, and then right at the end, Coop and Kitty just pushed each other right past both of you and finished 1-2 at the stage. It was perfect execution from us, and you guys
we got split up at the end.
Points.
And then stage 3, questionable pit stops. Dino got the drive-through. Me and Mailbox. When me and Mailbox got linked up, we did not look back. I was pushing him along the whole time. We never got unlocked from each other, and we were catching a second per lap because Coop and Kitty, I think, were still saving.
Dude, I was saying
and when they pit, they were 7 seconds behind us, and me and Mailbox still never looked back.
Yeah, I was saying man, I think the only way they're gonna not be able to win was with a wreck. I was just someone please. Turn somebody. I'm not trying to see this tell them finish like this.
We were, and then I had to save some more. So when me and Mailbox tried switching, I did not we were not better at all when I was in front. And switching, they were catching us 2 tenths per lap, I'd say. And then me and Mailbox, when the pack caught up to Coop and Kitty, that's basically the same time when me and Mailbox switched back because I got enough gas, and then again we just didn't look back.
Yeah. Before we go to Carson's next finish, I would like to say Talladega and Darlington, so far, we've had 11 people show up. This league is back. But yeah, Carson had those 2 bad finishes. So he had 6th and 7th at Dega in Milwaukee. But then last night he finished 4th. So this guy's dangerously consistent.
Yeah.
And honestly, for those 2 bad finishes and him not showing up at Daytona, he probably would be close to the points lead right now. What the hell? Oh yeah, Jab Race Daytona. I don't even remember that.
He was really bad. Me and Dino, like, we were private chatting each other. Like, this guy's so bad. We were just trying to stay away from him, honestly.
I mean, we haven't talked about Super. He hasn't been here in a while, but he's missed 3 races now, 4.
He probably would have been a threat at Daytona for the win. Vegas, if it wasn't for the caution, he would have been pretty much in the back.
No, he was fast. Remember?
Well, but
Early
if we didn't go, early in the race, if we didn't get that caution, then he probably would have been.
He got fastest lap once. He had the fastest lap.
He probably would have finished exactly where he got if it wasn't for the caution anyway.
And then Road America is just where he started going on a downfall. He DNF'd.
Road America, my Wi-Fi was dead.
He DNF'd, like, he just randomly parked it, and then he just didn't show up again.
Oh yeah, you told me that.
It really bothered me, dude. Like, I was very angry because we didn't have a lot of people to start with. Yeah, really, that's about it that I can think of for the first episode. There's really not much to talk about. We should probably start doing this. I'll start bringing on guests. Like, I think I'm gonna have Ollie. You guys know Ollie. I think he's gonna be my co-host for like most of the time. Like, I'm gonna add another chair for like an actual like consistent co-host. By the way, we're gonna have at the end of the season. So Ollie and his friend Cy Oxen, who showed up for Auto Club, we have a full game for our awards where we can not only show awards on a slideshow screen on the top, we can do paint scheme reveals by driving the cars on with like lights flashing and like music playing. Like, it's a really cool game that they built. So just be ready for that. It's gonna be fun at the end of the season. But yeah, I think we should probably start doing this. I'll probably start bringing on a guest like consistently after like every race, just to like, like the Dale Jr. download after like every single race, like every weekend they post a new episode. So yeah, I think that's what we'll start doing. Thank you guys for coming. I mean, I know it was early and it was kind of like last minute that I told you guys to get here, but really, I mean, unless you guys have anything else you want to talk about, I mean, I'm fine with talking more.
I need breakfast still.
Bro, same. Yeah, without further ado, I think that's gonna be it. So, thank you all for showing out for the first episode, and see you in the next divisional download.